Quick.
Hey yo, son.
Hey yo! Boop 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 boop.
Are we recording?
We are recording.
Oh, howdy.
Hey everybody, it's a snake in my boots.
I was not expecting you to say boots, but I'm glad you said boots.
Welcome
to 2021.
Exactly. Welcome to 2021. We just counted up 2021.
It's a brand new year.
It is a brand new year, but still in the same old. No.
Hey, it's gonna be better this year.
We're gonna make it better.
It's gonna be at least half as bad, but that means half is better.
Exactly.
Half.
So it's like 50-50. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the episode 10. We're at episode 10 of the Not Out Here podcast.
Dang, bro.
And I'm Easy L.
My name is Jettison Bombardier.
Welcome, man. We hope that y'all had a great New Year's. Hopefully y'all wasn't partying with like 100 people like some people were. Did you see that video of a party? I think it was in either New York or New Jersey.
Was that real? Are you talking about where they showed the staircase?
I think it was a staircase in the living room.
That looked insane.
Yeah, it's wild. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, a part of me was like, it looked insane, but usually we're used to that. You know, like there were parties like that where it was so packed and like that.
Are we talking about the same video? Where people were like sardines, like they could barely move.
Yes.
That doesn't look fun to me.
It doesn't look fun. Everybody's just like, especially in a house. If that's upstate like New York or like what is it, in Boston or something? Because them apartments small as hell.
Right.
Bro, can you imagine?
I cannot imagine, and I don't want to imagine.
Yeah. So we hope, man, y'all had a good New Year's. Y'all were safe. Y'all didn't go to no party. Y'all just chilled out with whoever if you got a bubble, you were in the bubble with them, whatever. Because I was just chilling with my girl, got a little litty, and I was like, oh boy, I don't know if I should be drinking this much anymore. So.
But if you did do that, if you're an irresponsible person, whatever, you did it, just stay away from
the general public,
from elderly people as well.
Exactly. There you go.
You're a terrible person, but it's okay.
Exactly.
Hopefully you won't die.
Oh Lord. But yeah, welcome, man. We want to start off this episode today talking about basically New Year's. So like I was saying earlier, I know for me, Jetty, I just chilled at my girl's crib. That's all I did. We didn't go out. We didn't do anything.
Right.
And we were just chilling, got litty. We're watching like some anime and just chilled out.
Right.
Like, were you just chilling at where were you chilling?
At my parents' house in Gresham. We kind of live on the edge of the swamp. So I was in the swamp for the last week. Just got back to Atlanta yesterday. It was good, man. I really enjoyed being home. There's good vibes when you go home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
I was talking to my guy Kraken. Shout out Kraken. He said that there's a scientific reason why you feel good when you go home. And I was like, what is it? And he was like, he doesn't know. He told me to figure it out. So what it is that your body, you lose molecules.
Okay.
And then when you go to a place you've lost a lot of molecules, those old molecules see you, and then they're like, hey, and then they rejoin and your body feels great.
Oh, you're talking about your parents.
That's my scientific hypothesis.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I was like, where's he going? I see what you're doing. Okay, that makes sense. That's hilarious.
But I had a great time. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I feel we didn't. Like I said, we didn't do anything either.
Did you watch the ball drop?
Bro, I forgot the ball dropped, but I did see clips like later that were talking about like you saw how empty Madison was it Madison? No, excuse me, Times Square. How empty it was?
Yeah, I did.
It was like super crazy, but people were making fun of like all the like Planet Fitness stuff that was out there.
What's that?
It's like there was so much like advertising like.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, okay.
What I saw that was kind of whack. The ball dropping Kia was right there behind the ball. Did you see that? Right behind the ball was just this big giant Kia advertisement with this car just driving. And
wow.
Kia just sponsored 2021.
Well, hopefully we'll last. Yeah. But that's so funny. But staying on the topic, we wanted to go into what usually most people do. Some people kind of give up on this, but New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
And we were going to mention like some New Year's resolutions that maybe, people do it, and I understand why people do it. And some people are like, man, that's whack, whatever. I could have done that, whatever. It don't matter. We want to mention some stuff that we actually are trying to aim for as a resolution for this year. I can actually start off. One of the things that I'm trying to do for myself is I'm trying to like lose a little bit more weight and get more in shape. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I'm trying to make it down to like 200 because I'm a tall dude. I'm 6'1", and like to be built like this and get that low, I was aiming for like 180, 190, but that's like super low for me. But I'm like, I think let me see how I get down to like when I get to those 210s or like 200s, see if I'm comfortable there. But that's one of my resolutions.
Right.
You got any?
I got a bunch. I got a goal list. I don't know if my goal list is really great info for the podcast because it's kind of specific. But I want to lose weight as well. Okay. Same thing. I've been on a weight loss kick since like September.
Yeah.
I've lost 35 pounds so far. Hey, congrats to me.
Cheers.
Yeah, so that's like I got a bunch of them. No, I don't know. You. But one is don't stress the small stuff. I tend to take a little thing and make it bigger in my brain.
Yep.
So, I think what I need to do is look at something and think about it. And it's like, is this going to bother me a week from now? Is it going to bother me a month from now? Exactly. Is it going to bother me a year from now?
Yeah.
If the answer is no,
then just let it go.
Why am I letting it bother me right now? So that's something I'm going to try to focus on this year. And a lot of other stuff too, business related stuff. I want to start a new little side hustle. I have 2 side hustles right now. I want to try to get a third one going.
Yeah.
And make it more automated, less custom work.
Exactly. Because
my hustles right now, everything that I'm doing, I have to do something custom and something it's kind of like a service.
Okay.
People are paying me to do something.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to have a hustle and a business where I create something and then the work is done. And then it's out there moving and generating revenue and doing its own thing.
Without you having to interfere or like mess with it.
Yeah, so that's a big goal of mine.
I feel it. That's like, I think one of my goals is, I told you this before, it's like to drop a sample pack every month. And so that's like all original work. And like, I'm about to start on the one for January. And then for a second, I was like, maybe I could do 2 a month. And I was like, ooh, boy, for everything that I'm doing, what I always do is I aim super high because like I'm just aiming so high. And sometimes it messes me up, but other times it actually helps me to like push through, you know what I mean? To overcome certain things.
Do you feel let down if you don't get it?
No, I think I used to back in the day, but then nowadays, what ends up happening now, I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I made it pretty far. Like I have what's like I guess I'd call like a vague deadline.
Yeah.
So like, for example, like if I were to do 2 samples pack this month, let's say I do one, I get it done. I'd be like, okay, let me take like a day or 2 to chill, get my brain off the music for a second. And then I start on the next one. But if I go a little bit into February, I'll be like, man, fuck it, whatever. It's still good. Like I'm still going to release this, you know? And so it's I'm not too strict. I'm trying to think of like I have some like you were saying, some very like other side hustles that I want to develop and stuff. But like another one was like a goal of mine that I have for this year is to try to get to a point to where I can do 1 to 3 shoots every week. I'm getting back into photography.
Oh man.
Yeah. And like, you remember when I was like into it heavy.
The photographer is back.
I was like so heavy into it and then I got burned out.
Man, you were going to shows like every other night.
Every other night. And then like some shows I didn't have tickets, I would sneak in and like just to like capture photos, to try to capture content and shit. And then eventually I got like a big break. For those of you who don't know, I went on tour with Big Crip. Shout out to Crip, man. That's the homie. And went on tour and like had a blast and it was so crazy. But by the time I came back, I was so drained and like I was like, I don't want to create anymore. And then I took like a hiatus for it's been a year, maybe almost 2 since I took like a hiatus. And then now I was like, you know what, maybe I should get back into it, but I don't want to do shows anymore.
Big Crit killed your love.
I wouldn't say he killed my love, but he
I know, I'm just joking. Yeah,
it was just a lot because I also used to do videos too, and videos were like crazy. But then I kind of was like, I don't want to do this anymore because you actually need to have like a support system of a team to like really like be doing videos like that. And so now I just want to do like more like artsy photography. So like portraits and stuff like that. That's like a passion of mine, just to try things and do like cool little backgrounds, or just take random things. And I think that's what I'm venturing into now. So my goal is to get to like 1 to 3 shoots every single week and just do it and just build that up. Cause like, I don't have any expectations for it. I don't expect to like just to like take off or whatever. I just want to do it because I kind of miss doing it, you know.
I think also it's positive momentum for everything else you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna meet more people. You're gonna more people are gonna know you. Networking in general, you know, blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Yada yada yada.
And so that's like, I want to keep doing that and see where it takes me, because, you know, like I said, it's no pressure. And then I think another thing, one of my other goals is that I'll roll out here soon, maybe not this month, but going into next, is I want to start doing offering mixing services, because actually I'm getting more into it and diving into it with my own music, which we dropped some music recently. Shout out to Cool As People, us.
Yes.
So
we dropped 3 songs.
3 songs.
All produced by Easy Elliott.
All produced by me. Exactly. Yes. I didn't even realize it, because you had sent me text. You were like, did you know that you produced all these? And I was like, oh, shit.
I realized it when I texted you. I'm like, yo, he produced all these songs.
But check that out on all streaming. Call on You. That's Jetty. Mom Was It Even Real? And Cool As People was Building.
Yeah.
So check those out. But I want to do that more for other people, because I do enjoy it, and like I just want to, you know, just do it because I like it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just like a lot of opening, venturing, and stuff, and yeah, just see where it takes me. So,
I feel it, man.
Yeah, so like if y'all got any New Year's resolutions, man, let us know in like our post about the episode, or we'll probably ask you the question in the caption. But we're trying to see what's up.
Also, don't be a New Year's resolution hater.
Exactly.
I see this every year. People are like, "Oh, y'all ain't gonna be doing that in a month." Well, fine. Let people try to better themselves, and if they fall off the wagon, okay. But
exactly,
you know, I feel like New Year's bring good energy. Don't throw some negative energy towards people, man.
Exactly. Because this is the thing, though. Like, people don't. It's a New Year's resolution, which you have the whole year to do. You know, not to put it off, but like, for example, even if you do start something, kind of goes off the wagon a little bit, you can still come back. Yeah. You know, you can still. That's like every sports analogy. Like, you know, we were down 10, but we came back at the last 2 minutes and won it. But
try to put in that energy and effort in positive ways.
Exactly. So, but yeah, hopefully, like I said, y'all had a good New Year's. But let's transition into, I guess, world news, or really U.S. news. Talk about this. Everybody on Twitter calls it the stimulus.
Oh, you want to talk about the stimulus?
Yeah, we could talk about the stimulus, about how people who qualify for it get $600. But I know you had mentioned this, that they graffitied up, what's his name, Mitch McConnell?
Yeah, so, okay, you probably already understand, but I'll just say it in case anyone out there hasn't been, I don't know,
educated.
They were thinking about making it 2,000. Trump wanted it to be 2,000. He said something funny to Republicans. I forget what he said, but it was basically like a threat, like, "Hey, you got to make it 2,000." A lot of Republicans said they wanted it to be 2,000. Democrats said they wanted it to be 2,000, and then Mitch McConnell just blocked it. He just basically said no.
Yeah.
So then people vandalized his house, and I'm not surprised. Vandalizing someone's house isn't a good thing. But imagine being the person that blocked. How many millions of people are there? Is it 300 or 400 million?
I think it's around 350 million, I think, in America.
Imagine being the person that blocked over $1,000 from hundreds of millions of people.
Yeah.
Man, and I was talking to my mom. I was like, "Mom, there's no way he's going to survive that as a politician." And she said, "Oh yeah, he'll have no problem with it." I'm like, "What? No way." But she's like, "Listen, they get elected every 6 years." And he just got reelected. 6 years from now, who knows what's going to happen between now and 6 years? We won't even remember that he blocked the stimulus. So that's kind of crazy.
That's like super odd. Have you seen what he looks like? He looks like he's dying.
He looks like a melting frog.
Bruh, he does. It's so funny when like the pictures of like what he looks like from like movies and shit. And he does look like a turtle, or he looks like something from Labyrinth from Guillermo del Toro. This little
they've been doing that. I saw someone, Indiana Jones, where the guy's melting. Yeah. They say they look like that guy halfway through.
That's hilarious. But like I was looking the photos of his hands and how they're all like discolored and
stuff. He got messed up recently. I don't know if he had a fall or maybe Trump was grabbing his arm real hard and twisting it.
That's funny, because it makes me think, like, you know, why I was like, why do we let these older people run the country? Why can't we have like some middle-aged, younger people, you know?
Well, our young people, they're not typically not super into politics.
True. But I guess maybe I'm thinking of like 30 to 40-year-old people, you know? Like, to me, where I think you should have a mixture of it so you can have people who have been there and, you know, but
I think politics is a game, and the old people have figured out the game, and the old people are bought by the corporations, add money, you know, everybody's in everybody's pocket.
True.
There's a little bit of young energy out there, but not a lot. Like AOC, she might be one of the youngest.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that energy out there, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm. True. But I guess going from this, it brings me to the next topic of that bombing that happened in Tennessee.
Yes.
That just shit was crazy. Did you see the video?
Yes. It was very interesting. And also, one thing I wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. Okay, my parents watch a lot of news.
Okay.
I don't really like watching a lot of news. I feel like it's a lot of negative energy.
Of course.
But it is good to be informed.
Yep.
But one thing that I noticed is different news outlets cover news differently, which of course they would. Mm-hmm. But national news outlets, for this bombing, they tried to make it seem like it didn't matter and it wasn't a big deal. And they also covered it differently than local news. Mm. One night I watched local news, mm-hmm. and they talked about it, and they kind of showed it and displayed it differently than national news. And national news just kind of tried to show you like, oh, you know, it was whatever. Yeah. And also local news reported on this guy was kind of a conspiracy theorist. Do you know about this?
I think slightly, but not a lot.
So this guy, local news reported this guy, you know about 5G. People that are worried about 5G.
Yeah, and the towers.
It's either spreading cancer or coronavirus or it's going to get in your brain, whatever. He was a super 5G conspiracy theorist. Mm. The local news covered that. National news never mentioned it. Huh. And also pictures and images. Uh-huh. So there are really bad images that you can see online, but they never get shown on TV. And it's just kind of strange.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know exactly where I was going with that, but I just thought it was super interesting. Also, one more thing I want to talk about with that before you jump in. This guy also is a big believer in aliens and lizard people being on Earth.
Oh, boy.
So this is an example of when people fall way too far down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole.
That makes sense. Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, at this point, I can even entertain aliens being here already. I can entertain them, but when you get to lizard people, I'm like, all right, that's a little too far. But I saw that, it was, like, super wild because it happened on Christmas.
Right, Christmas morning.
And, like, I saw did you see the aftermath of what the buildings look like?
Yeah.
It was, like, wild. I was like, damn. And, what I did notice that a lot of people were saying, kind of like how you were chiming on about just the coverage of it. And they kind of, the news outlets, you know, like were kind of just brushing off like, oh, this happened, whatever, going on to the next thing, you know, versus like how maybe they might have talked about it another way. But it was really wild. Because I think I even saw there was like security footage because it was in an RV, right? Mm-hmm. And like they were talking about that there was this loudspeaker going off that like it's going to blow up in 5. It had a countdown and everything. Yeah. And so, but my thing is, maybe you know, because I only know so much from what I see on social media. Was he doing that near like a 5G tower?
Yes. There's a big AT&T communications I forget exactly what it's called, but area. And he actually shut down the internet for a large part of Nashville.
Wow.
Like people in the area couldn't even get news to know what was going on.
Wow.
So that affected a big thing. And there was even rumors that, you know, this could be like a foreign terrorism or like a foreign country doing kind of a test on America. Like let's block out their communications in this area, see how and then this was like preparation for something bigger. Turns out that wasn't what it was. Turns out it was just this conspiracy guy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's so wild, man, that some shit like that would happen. But I think that there's only a few people injured. I think nobody like passed or nothing.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. But that's super wild. I just don't get it. It's just like these conspiracy people, they're like spreading coronavirus, but I'm like, man, just listen to a scientist, bro. Don't listen to your YouTube video.
So, going from that, I wanted to hijack the show just a little bit.
Yeah.
And transition into a new topic.
Okay.
I haven't okayed this with E yet. So,
oh boy,
this is gonna be the Alien Hour.
Oh, that's what it's called.
New segment, Alien Hour.
I'm gonna put in like.
Okay, so because this guy, he's a strange guy that believes in a lot of strange stuff. So I feel like there's a lot of energy out there right now.
Okay. Yeah.
For people saying that 2021 is going to be the year we see aliens.
Okay.
I feel like the world is saying that this is going to happen, and I'm ready. I want it to happen.
Bro, it's so funny you say that because what was it?
I got 3 stories for you.
3 stories. But I kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see aliens, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we didn't. But let me hear where you're going with this.
I won't be surprised if we don't see them. That's just the nerd in me wants to see them.
I feel you.
Okay. So I sent you this story from the New York Post. Maybe not, the best organization. I don't know. Whatever. COVID-19 bill started a 180-day countdown for UFO disclosures. I thought this was really interesting.
180-day countdown.
So how weird is it that they slipped this into the COVID-19 relief bill? President Trump's signature Sunday on the $2.3 trillion COVID-19 relief and government-funded bill started a 180-day countdown for the Pentagon and spy agencies to say what they know about UFOs. The provision received very little attention, in part because it wasn't included in the text of the 5,500-page legislation, but as a committee comment attached to the annual Intelligence Authorization Act, which was rolled into the massive bill. So what this means is that our organizations supposedly have to disclose what they know after 180 days, which is kind of strange.
So what's 180 days from now?
Is that like...
Because it's what, 30 days in each month?
Yeah.
So that's like towards the end of the year, isn't it?
Let me see. Let me do some math real quick. 6 months.
6 months. So yeah, it's halfway through the year. So that what, July? No, June?
July or June.
I think it's June. June, because in July and then August is 8th. So then by June, sometime in June, whenever, they're going to be like, all right, y'all, here's the deal.
Here's the truth, or they're going to hide the truth from us.
Look, there's aliens, but they look just like us. No.
Mitch McConnell.
No wonder.
His face has started to melt.
Oh, and he can't get back to his home planet to rejuvenate and get the costume back to normal.
Okay. Moving on from that more alien hour. Was that a dropped call from E.T.? A spooky radio signal showed up after a radio telescope was aimed at the next star over from our sun. No one believes it was ET phoning, but radio astronomers admit they don't have an explanation yet for a beam of radio waves that came from the direction of the star Proxima Centauri. It's some sort of technological signal. The question is whether it's Earth technology or technology from somewhere out yonder, said Sophia Sheck, a graduate student. Blah, blah, blah. She is part of the group called Breakthrough Listen, a $100 million effort funded by Yuri Milner. Shout out to Yuri, man. Putting money into aliens. To find radio waves. This is their most intriguing discovery yet. It was a radio wave sent to Earth, not from Earth, from the next closest star.
And they said that it was technological.
They said it is some sort of technological signal.
Man, aliens, just come on, bro.
This just happened. This news I just got. Did I just get this email? This happened on the 31st. Damn. Actually, they found the signal earlier in the year. They've just been scared to report on the news. They've been researching it, trying to figure out what it is.
Trying to give an explanation.
The news is just coming out. They don't know what it is.
That's wild, man.
Right?
I feel like, oh boy, we're like in a burning car right now. This shit's about the wheels about to pop off. Because like,
I love it.
It's so funny. You know what? Before you go to the next, I have a feeling that aliens, I feel like we're building them up, and I feel like we're gonna let ourselves down because I think aliens are gonna be like, bro, we just like y'all. We just figuring shit out. Like, I think they're gonna be like, sure, we got all this advanced technology, like, more than y'all, but to be honest, we just figuring this shit out.
I think it'd be interesting if this was like the plot of a movie, but like they were out of water, or they were coming to our to our
get
planet
water.
to steal our resources. They're like, hey, we lost water. We need y'all's water. Y'all are fucked.
Wow, isn't that a movie?
That's what I just said. Was
Oh.
it Endgame or Ender's Game or Ender? What was that?
Not Ender's Game was about something else. It wasn't about aliens. They were trying to take over like planets and shit in Ender's Game.
Are you sure?
Book. I read the book. I remember that.
Because at the end of it, those guys needed water.
No, at the end of Ender's Game, what it was because it's a kid. His name's Ender, and basically they're doing these attack simulations against an army.
But then he found out it was real.
It was real.
But they needed water. That's why they were going to war with the other places because they ran out of resources.
Oh, was it? And so they were trying to take it.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't give it to them. Damn, bro.
I'm right?
I don't know. I don't remember the water. I haven't read
right.
it in a long time or seen the movie, but
I think I'm
remember that. That was a twist. I remember reading. I was like, "What the?
Oh yeah,
this shit was real." But anyway,
yeah.
I have a feeling that at this point, bro, I like. It's kind of like I don't know. What is it? I don't have any expectations anymore. I'm gonna look. If the aliens come, they come, bro. And but
I'm ready for Earth to band together. And for us to fight these aliens.
You think they're gonna fight? Like if aliens pull up, you think? Or what if they come peaceful, and they're just like, look, we're kind of like how you approach like sometimes if you're approaching a dog, you don't know, you're like, hey, I'm peaceful. I don't want any problems. What if they're like that and they're like, look, we know about your violent history, but
I think if they're peaceful, they're gonna have ulterior motives.
You think so?
I think so.
What if they're just like, we love flowers, roses?
So why would they come here? Are they just looking for like pets? Like, oh, look at like a new zoo. Like, look at this.
Or what if maybe something happened to their planet? Like, look, this would happen to ours. We're trying to make sure it doesn't happen to y'all. Maybe. You never know.
Depends on how good they are.
True.
If they're
or it could be like Mars attacks and they just fucking take over and everybody has to fight these bitches. That's how they talk. It's so hilarious.
I love that movie.
Uh-huh.
All right, story number 3. For about 30 to 60 seconds, I thought I saw a UFO. So I was in the backyard, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking in the sky, and then there's this light, this big light.
Uh-huh.
It's bigger than a star, but it doesn't look like an airplane. I'm like, what the hell? And it's floating. So it looked like this like little red orb, right? And it was kind of just going in and out, and it was just kind of like, and I was like, what is that? So I just stood there, and I was just staring at this thing, and it wasn't moving. And I heard my dad. I yelled at my dad. I was like, Dad, come, it's aliens, come look.
Oh my God.
And my dad ran over there. He was like, what is that? He's like, is that a helicopter? What is that? Now we're in the middle of nowhere. There's no reason for helicopters to be out there. So my dad, he's like, I'll be right back. So he runs in the house. My dad has binoculars. He goes and gets 2 sets of binoculars. He runs back outside. So we're looking at it. He's like, man, that thing's moving. That's not an alien. So we're just standing there looking. And then it gets closer and closer and closer, and it's just an airplane.
Oh.
But dude, it was so weird.
But it looked weird.
Because I think it was coming straight at us.
Oh, okay.
It was coming like...
The angle at it.
The angle was so weird that for like a minute, it didn't look like it was moving. And it had this weird glow. I could tell it wasn't a star, and it was kind of low.
Yeah.
But then it was just an airplane.
That's hilarious.
I was so let down.
You're like, woo! We were about to get attacked, but
I was so let down. I thought I saw an alien.
I think you saying that actually reminded me. Did you see? I think it was actually yesterday or 2 days ago. There was a scientist. I can't remember in what country or something. They're like, they saw something and they're like, this wasn't a plane. This wasn't a helicopter. This wasn't anything. It could have been a UFO. There was an article. I think Joe Rogan might have shared it.
Have you ever seen anything like that, like in person?
No, never.
Dude, I had another experience that was really weird.
What's that?
Driving home, there were these lights, and they would line up in the sky. And then one would come on, and it was almost... I know I'm doing something visual, so the people listening, it doesn't make any sense. But it was these really weird string of lights. And when I got home, I live in a really small area. Nobody lives there. But our Facebook was on fire. Everyone on Facebook was like, yo, what was that? Everybody, like all my friends from back home. Yeah. So what people think it was dude, the news even reported on it.
Oh, really?
The local news? I swear to God. This was like a couple years back. And what they claim it was falling flares. There's something where they
Okay.
do these little flare tests or flare
yeah.
drops. But then it's like the news reached out to the military bases in the area and they said, no, we didn't do anything.
Wow.
So either,
Yeah.
it was amazing though. It's like the one time in my life where I saw something and I was like, yo,
They're here.
what the hell is that?
That's hilarious. No, I don't think I've ever had anything like that, just because I don't know. Maybe I just don't go outside enough, but
You gotta look at the sky more.
yeah, I just be so focused on like what I'm doing. I've never seen anything like, cause you remember that a few years ago in LA, you remember that blue wave of
Oh
thing?
yeah, the rocket.
Yeah, it was from the rocket,
Mm-hmm.
but it still looked crazy.
Those look insane.
Yeah.
I would love to see one of those.
People were like, "What the fuck is this? This is aliens?"
It looked like a portal opening.
Exactly.
Elon Musk screwed around and opened a portal.
Yeah. I think there was something that's reminding me of something. I can't remember. I had to probably look at it on Reddit, but I don't know what it is. But people were talking about things that happened, not things that happened, but like theories and stuff of like, what is it? Simulation theory, right? That we're living in a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's saying that, what was it? There's like this thing in Europe that creates black holes. The super collider?
CERN, the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And people were talking about that they feel like talking about what happened in 2020 with all the bad stuff. They're like, they think that something happened to where like a squirrel or like a ferret got into it and could have affected.
Was this jokes or was this an article?
No, this was like an actual theory. The scientists were talking about they saw an animal go into it.
Really?
Yeah. And so they were like, yeah, but we don't know if anything happened because they never saw the animal again.
That's hilarious.
But like that, even that talking about the machine is kind of crazy that they're like, yeah, we can create black holes. I'm like, why would you want that?
So that's also for conspiracy theorists. People say that's what started the Mandela effect. Was the turning on of CERN.
Gotcha.
It throws those particles so fast. What they're looking for is something called the God particle.
Okay.
Which is like the smallest known particle known to man. And if they can see that, they can understand matter better and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But people think that that's screwing around with nature and them making those small black holes,
and then it's messing up our timeline and all this other shit.
It's kind of terrifying because a black hole, if they actually created one, we would be destroyed in like seconds.
Yeah, we wouldn't even have time to react.
It's actually a kind of scary thing they're doing.
Yep. And there are people who are like, oh my God, it could pop off at any moment.
You know they have those in America as well?
Oh, like a collider?
Mm-hmm.
What?
They're just not as big. That's the biggest one ever.
Wow.
But I think there's one in Chicago, like around Chicago. There's also another one out in like the Midwest, like Texas area.
That's crazy.
Because America used to be like the science place for the entire world. This was where science was done. The most funding, everyone would come here.
Yeah.
And then that changed within the last few decades, or maybe the 80s or the 90s, where it's all shifted to Europe.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That definitely makes sense with like NASA and all that. That's why they always need more funding.
It's funny. CERN it's giant. It's like 20 miles wide, and it goes under like these little towns, which you would never know. It just looks like a nice little town, a little like, you know.
But then way below it is that, wow.
Yep.
If they get a black hole, they're the first ones to go.
Yep.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's real interesting. What was I about to say? Wait, where are we going from this? I got lost in that conversation.
I don't
know. What was it? We can go creative corner. Or did you have something?
No, that's cool. But just to end that, that's one of the biggest purchases. Purchases isn't the right word, but it's one of the largest things man has ever made, like money wise.
Yeah.
Multiple countries all went in on that, and that's the largest scientific experiment ever.
That's wild.
Yeah, like money wise, that dwarfs everything else.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing, I can see how that thing can be kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, oh yeah, this shit could fuck us up.
Well, when they turned it on, they didn't know what was going to happen. I remember it was a big thing on the news. They were like, hey, they're about to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, we're either going to be dead in a few seconds or we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
That's so funny. But going from alien talk, maybe they'll pop up. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna come chill, want to grab a beer and just chill out and vibe. But can you imagine if that should happen? And they're like, look, we just want to chill with y'all, bro.
What if they capture you?
Uh-huh.
And then they take you to their planet and you're in their version of a zoo?
Whoa.
You're going to be on exhibit.
I mean, I ain't got to worry about money no more. That'd be wild.
And then they're going to give you a woman to copulate with and make zoo babies.
I'd be like, you're going to get me in trouble, aliens. Oh, shout out to Shadow. Going from that talk, I wanted to get into a creative corner segment. Because I saw an article recently on Twitter about someone who interviewed. I'm talking about social media here, where they interviewed someone at Instagram, I guess that runs their creative, not creative department, but their algorithm department. And because the person inquiring was like, hey, how can I get my profile seen more?
That was a really good article. Do you have that? Because I thought the stats there were kind of cool. They were breaking it down how much you should do things per day, per week.
I have it right here.
Okay.
And it's like really interesting because a lot of people were arguing. They were going back and forth in the comments about basically what Instagram's algorithm, how it works, and like how much work you have to put in or what you have to do in order to actually get your profile out there more.
Yeah.
And so this is for like really anybody, not just creatives, but if they just want to get their profile like more viewed and stuff. Because this is, I'm gonna read it per the article. This is on someone's blog post where it says, they said Instagram's highly unrealistic ideal amount of posts of each type per week. So this is a per week, Sunday through Saturday or whatever. They said that you should post 3 feed posts per week. So that's like Reels and IGTV. You choose to post to feed. That's where they count there. So whether it's an IGTV, regular post, or like a Reel. So you should at least do 3 feed posts per week. That's the first thing. The second thing, you should do 8 to 10 stories per week. Now, preferably that'd be 2 per day. So
I do more than that.
I would say, but then this got me to ask. I didn't really look at the article. Does this mean like actually recording through the story post versus just like uploading a post or something?
Oh, so you mean like real content, like
I think so.
Recording a video of myself? Okay,
I think that's what that means.
Okay.
Because I mean, like otherwise, I'm like, yeah, let me just upload my post. That's one.
Share something.
Yeah. But I'm not too sure if that's what it means. But the next thing they have is because now they're on this Reels things, which is their like counter to TikTok. They want you to post 4 to 7 Reels per week. So that's only 15 seconds, which is, I don't think it's that hard to do. You know, I think it's actually okay. But they're pushing that so hard. They were talking about in the article that Reels is like something that they're pushing so hard that the algorithm at the moment is like, anybody who posts Reels, like they're like, yes, we want to push this profile forward. We want to push it more out there. So that's like a good thing. Because I know me and you tried this before when they first introduced it.
Yeah.
We were like, let's try to post something but through Reels. And then you would see all the people who viewed it and it would just like shoot up. And you're like, what the hell? This is crazy.
So you had one that did really well, right?
Yeah, I had one that had over like, I think 1,000 or something like that.
Me too. My most recent ones kind of were duds, but I had one that had 1,300. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're pushing that really hard because they kind of, what they're trying to do is, of course, get more people away from TikTok to stay on Instagram. Right. So that's the third thing. And then the next thing is to do 1 to 3 IGTV a week. So that's only a video that's over a minute. Right. So what I started noticing after I saw this, because they go into what they feel like is ideal for people because when you look at everything, it's a lot. Right. Like to do all this in a week or even, but I'm pretty sure if you plan it out, you could probably do it. But like it requires a lot of time. And what I started noticing is that people who do IGTV, the slick way that they do it is they'll just be like, they'll have a video that's like 105, 110.
Is that even good though? Because I see people take even a 1-minute video and they'll break it down into 3 small clips so that you have to spend longer and swipe through them.
Yeah, and I think that actually is good because it keeps them on there. Because what I started noticing that TikTok does as well, that is kind of like that, and I think this is why IG is trying to get them away from there. TikTok has this thing because TikTok, I think, 90 seconds per post or something like that. They'll be like, this is part 1. Now go to part 2.
Oh, yeah.
And it gets them to go to the profile to be like, I want to see what happens. Because what they're essentially doing is a smaller version of what TV does. They're like, oh, there's a build up. Here's the climax. Wait to finish to see what happens. You have to wait for next week for the next show. And so, and I've caught myself doing that sometimes. I'm like, this is part 1. I want to see what the rest. Where's part 2? And so on. And so, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an experiment where I'm gonna try this to see if like my numbers boost up, if I get more followers or more interactions and stuff. So maybe like going into this, we're in the first week of January. Going into like this week, I'll try to be like, okay, let me try to do 2 real stories, like just recording, and then also let me do, you know, a few reels. Let me do a post and stuff like that, and see how favorable I guess I become to the algorithm, or how much boosted it is. Because man, sometimes I don't even be wanting to get on social media, but I think what I'm gonna try to do is just like schedule it, or what I tend to do sometimes, which I think you might do it, where I'll just like, let me draft the post, get everything done, and then just save it, so that way I just click post when I'm ready to post it.
Oh, that's smart.
So
I never do that. I should do that on Instagram.
So like I'll go through it like I'm about to post it, but then I'll go back and it says, do you want to discard or save? And I'll be like, let me save it. And then I'll just have like a bunch of them lined up, so I can be like, okay, bet, click.
Dude,
so,
I need to do that.
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
So you've been trying to do 3 posts a day for a while, right?
Yeah.
Has that worked or has that not worked?
It's worked a little bit, but I think what I'm realizing is from this article, like, it's not only about doing 3 posts, it's also about, they want you to use their new features.
Right.
Like, they want you to do it. And the more that you use every new feature or every aspect, the better that your like profile or your post is going to get pushed out there. What I noticed too, because I was trying to do this the other day, is like, that new feature too with shopping, like if you even get that and you're able to like become something that you can use it, even if you use it, it's a big boost too.
Really?
Yeah, because what they're doing is, like I said, they're just trying to keep people on there, to keep scrolling, and they're doing all these things. And like I tried to apply for it recently, but they're like, no.
Really? They denied you?
They denied me.
You tried it on your It's Easy L page?
Yeah. Yep. And I was like, fuck. Well, I was like, okay. But yeah, what Instagram does is like, and we're going to see here, because I feel like they're going to introduce another new feature, probably, I'd say maybe in a few months or so, is I'm going to try to keep doing this. And then if something else comes, like the minute that it comes, I'm like, okay, let me try to think of something to do with this, you know, because they're like, yeah, we're doing this. They want people to use it. And so whoever or whatever computer does their algorithm, they're like, we want you to be favorable towards, you know, using this feature. So people who use this, they get pushed more. And so, but people in the article, it did say that every time they roll a new feature, they become favorable to whatever's new, but then eventually it balances out. So I guess what I'm going to figure out is see what happens with me. I'm going to be like, okay, let me do, you know, 2 to 3 posts every day, whether that be Reels or IGTV or something or whatever. And let me just try to see what happens. So it's going to be like some planning and shit. But
I have a New Year's resolution. Use social media less.
Bro, that is the resolution.
What I want to do, I've already broken my rule for today, so I'm failing already. Sundays, I don't want to get on it. I want to try something different. Because I feel like when I post on Sundays, my Sunday posts always like brick, like they don't do anything. So,
well, I'll get on for you, because I'm going to figure out, because like I said, I think it's going to take like a week or 2 to like for the algorithm to be like, oh, this person's like, you know, being consistent and doing these things. Because I kind of feel the same way. But another thing I would say do is get like Hootsuite or something and just schedule it, and it'll post it for you.
So you can do that on Instagram.
Yeah,
I got to get that. Is it free?
Yeah, it's free. They have a paid version, because I think, what is it? It's like the free version lets you do up to 30 posts.
Dude, I need to do that ASAP.
You know,
how many profiles can you do?
I think you can do up to 3. I think.
Huh. Yeah. I need to get on that.
But I'm going to do that for some posts, because there's some days I'm like, bro, I just don't want to look at this. You know? And I just want to post it and not reply to anybody or whatever.
Man, social media is addicting, man.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I could definitely say that for TikTok, bro. Like there was like one day I was like, I've really scrolled this thing for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes straight.
Same.
And then after a while, I'm like, I got shit to do.
Right.
Like, you know, I need to be working. So.
Or I'll get on my phone to do something, and then you'll click on Instagram, and then you'll see something, and then
You keep going.
30 minutes later,
Yeah.
did I do the thing that I opened my phone to do? I don't even remember anymore. So
Exactly.
dang.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna try this experiment, and I'll report back. Probably if anytime I see anything new, I'll let you know. Maybe after each week, I'll be like, "This is the algorithm review,
Algorithm update.
update."
Algorithm
Hey, see, this is the algorithm update.
You got to speak like a robot. Algorithm update.
Algorithm update 1.0. But yeah, we'll see. But like that's I give that information because I wanted to give it to y'all in case you didn't see it. Now by all means, look, I'm for less being on social media, but I know being in the industry that we're in and trying to make shit pop, you have to be like,
I want to be like that, but one of my side businesses, 97% of my traffic
social media
is Instagram.
Oof.
And that's where all my sales come from. So if I'm not on the gram, I'm not getting my sales. So dang, man.
So I think this is how it works, because this is what I'm going to eventually do.
Mm-hmm.
Once shit pops off, like on my side hustle or just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, excuse me. What I'm going to do is get to a point to where I can just hire somebody to do it for
me. Oh, yeah.
Because I'm be like, listen, I've looked at this phone for 3 years, 10 years. You do it now. Because that's what all the big people do. They have somebody running their social media.
Yeah, I mean.
So they ain't got to worry about it.
If you find somebody you trust and someone that you trust to actually put in the work.
Exactly.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Might just have to find some resumes or something. But that's the Creative Corner. Also, like I said, you don't have to do this, but it's just information, man, that could help someone, whether you're trying to sell art, sell beats, sell clothes, sell anything, or even get, like I said, bring your profile up. This is just like what the article was saying. I'll try it, see what happens. If it don't work, I mean, shit, I'm gonna find something else, Yeah,
man.
But yeah.
Good stuff. Can I jump to news real quick? Yeah. I only have one news.
Oh, okay.
This is breaking news.
Breaking, okay.
I wasn't even going to have news today, but I saw this and was like,
news.
I should say this.
You're all learning this as much as, or you're learning it at the same time as we are.
Washington Post just released a recording of President Donald Trump attempting to blackmail Georgia's Secretary of State to overturn the election.
Wow.
The audio is right here, but I haven't listened to it yet because we're on the podcast. Wow. But Washington Post just dropped a bomb.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to blackmail him, and he still wouldn't have won. No.
Sheesh. All right.
That was your news. It's like the fast version.
That's the 30-second news. Okay, so for the not all here moment this week, this is actually not a story about me. It's one of my friends. I do not have permission to tell this story, but I doubt he's going to listen to the podcast. Gotcha. And I will say no names.
Yeah, or no names. Yeah.
No names. So it's kind of messed up the way I introed that. I really shouldn't be doing this.
Oh boy.
But the story's a little messed up. Story's a little weird. So back when the internet was new and nobody knew what we were doing, us guys, we would go on there. Remember when internet dating was a new thing? Yes. Before it was internet dating?
Yeah.
Like maybe when Facebook just got started, or like way back in the day.
Talking about like chat rooms.
Yeah, it was interesting times. Great times.
It was funny. It always have like your age, the gender you were, and then like
ASL, age, sex, location.
Yeah, exactly. That is hilarious.
So anyway, one of my friends got a little involved with a girl, chatting, blah, blah, blah. Then when you take it from the computer, you take it to the phone, blah, blah, blah. So this was maybe our first year of college. So he gets to know this girl. He decides to go meet her. Now, this girl lived in Maryland. We lived in South Carolina. This was a big trip. This was really jumping out there. So he goes up there. This was the first time I ever heard of catfishing. He got catfished before catfishing was a thing.
Wow, he's what is it, Patient X? No.
So he drove from South Carolina to Maryland. Turns out the girl was underage, living with her parents. So he pulls up to the house. I guess the situation was weird. The girl was nervous and scared, as she should be, because, we were of age, you know what I mean?
Wow.
we were in college.
Wow.
She was underage, but here's the crazy part.
Oh, that wasn't even the crazy part.
Here's the crazy part.
All right.
She was catfishing him with her older sister's pictures, who lived at the same house.
Oh my
so
God.
the girl was there.
Oh, wow.
She was using her older sister's pictures. So the girl was actually there. So he gets there. The parents, they're all trying to figure out, like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, what? Dude. The parents were so cool. They let him stay the night in the house.
Wow.
The parents, found out what the situation was. He drove from South Carolina to Maryland.
Yeah.
He stayed overnight in the house. Obviously, it didn't work out with him and the girl.
Yeah.
She was young. I don't know if she was 13 or 15 or whatever.
Wow.
Crazy part of the story is, he then started talking to the sister.
Yo,
the catfish of the pictures, he started talking to that girl.
Wow.
Yes.
He had a 2-minute drill like the NFL, like, yo, audible. He's like, we gotta switch shit up. And then wow. And so he started talking to her.
He started talking to her. I don't think it ever went anywhere. But probably for the best.
Of course. That's crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy that they actually let him stay. They're like, well,
he said they were super cool. They were understanding. They were mad at the daughter. They actually let him stay overnight in the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a twist. That was a Shyamalan twist.
Dude,
Shyamalan.
Catfishing before catfishing was a thing.
Bro, is he the one that originated
the OG Catfish?
That's so crazy. Quick, real thing, because I don't know about this.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they call it catfishing?
It has something to do with the movie. I've never actually seen the movie.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a movie before the show.
Yeah. I knew it was a movie. I wonder where the term came from. Was it because it had something to do with, like, catfish will do something, like the actual fish? Or you'll think it's something, but it's actually a catfish? I don't know.
I thought it was something to do with the movie.
Oh, okay. Maybe
was there a catfish in the movie?
No. No.
I'm being serious.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. That's hilarious. But man, that dude pulled an audible and he was like still able to holler at the other girl. Wow.
Yep.
Damn, that's crazy.
Crazy times.
Okay, I think I have a story. Because your story actually reminded me of a story that I forgot about.
You got catfished.
No, I didn't get catfished.
You catfished someone.
No, never that. So this is also when I was in college. So back in the day, easy L. When I was just L, I went to I was going to college in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. That's where originally I'm from. Shout out to the 501. And I used to be, in most dorms that they always say don't call it a dorm, call it whatever. For some reason they didn't like the word dorm there.
Really?
Yeah, it was really weird. They were real weird about it. But anyway. So I lived at this place, and then eventually, like years went on, I became like a mentor, eventually to what's called a resident assistant. Basically, people who mediate, and when people have problems, whatever, they come to me. They're like, resolve this, and you got to help, whatever, any situation. So I remember one time I was living. I had my own room. That's the real reason why I became one, because I was like, I want my own fucking room. Mm-hmm. So, I would always hang out with friends in our, I guess, like in our. We would always like hang out together in the main living room of the dorm. Mm-hmm. So people would be playing like Call of Duty, dominoes, spades. We all just be chilling. And there was this girl. I really don't remember her name. So I wouldn't say her name anyway, but I don't remember her name anyway.
Susie.
Sure. Let's call her Susie because that's a name that I like. No. But she would always hang around me. Mm-hmm. And like always be around. And at the time I was single and I really wasn't pursuing anybody, but like, I was just chilling, being an RA, focused on that. And she'd always be around. She played a lot of basketball. She was like a basketball player type of thing. And not like officially or anything, just, intramural stuff. She'd always hang around. She was like, hey, Elle, what are you doing? I'm just chilling. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. We would talk every now and then. She's like, and she actually slick asked me for my number at the time. Mm-hmm. But I didn't think nothing of it because this is like a big thing. I didn't find her attractive. Mm-hmm. I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, all right, whatever. Yeah. She's like, Elle, can I have your number in case I ever have a problem? I'm like, yeah, I got you. Digits, whatever, exchange. So every now and then, she would her and another friend of hers, a roommate of hers, would come to our room to just kick it. And we'd be playing games. You're like, can we come over? Yeah. So a few nights of that happened or whatever. And like, I never paid any attention. Most of the time back in the day, even now, like whenever a girl would flirt with me, I wouldn't know that they were flirting with me because I'd be like, they ain't flirting with me.
Right.
Like, I'm nobody right now. So I'm just chilling. But one day she sends me a text and I'm chilling in my room making music. And this is when I was like on this old PC, Fruity Loops, whatever. She's like, hey, Elle, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just chilling in the room playing some keys. You know, what are you doing? She's like, ha ha ha, I just got out the shower. And I don't think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, she took a shower, whatever. And she's like, yeah, I'm so wet, you know, it's from the shower or whatever. And then I'm like, well, get a towel. Like,
you texted that?
Yeah, I was like, well, I mean, get a towel, get dressed. What you doing? Like, turn the whatever the heater thing over, turn it on, like whatever. And I'm not getting any hints. Like, I'm not catching them, just because I think it has to do with the fact that I didn't find her attractive. You know, sorry.
I have a towel. Come use mine.
But she was like, do you mind if I come down there? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm making music.
I mean, did your shower break? I mean, what happened?
No, this is after the fact.
No, I'm making a joke. Did you not shower correctly? What happened?
So she was like, I'm going to be down there in a minute. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I don't care. You know, I do not care. And like, I just pay no mind. And she comes down and she comes into my room. And so she comes into my room and I'm sitting here. I'm like, yeah, I'm making music right now. You know, I'm so focused in the music. Like, you know, she's like, wow, you have such a nice bed. It's so nice, whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you. My mom helped me with the sheets or whatever. You know, like, I'm just whatever. And at the time, my two roommates were gone. So it was just me. So we're just in there. And she's like, oh, you know, I'm starting to get tired. Elle, do you mind if I lay down or whatever? I'm like, no, you got your room upstairs. Like, would you? like, why you laying in my bed? And keep in mind, in college, at least in my college, the beds were like twin size beds. Yeah. So they weren't humongous at all. And you know, and I think I'm chilling. I'm like, you know what? Let me take a break from making music. I'm gonna chill in the living room. So she comes in the living room or whatever. And then she starts like trying to make moves on me, but nothing is like getting my attention.
Are you still making a beat?
No. I stopped making a beat. I was just chilling watching TV. And then I think she said something to the effect of, she's like, hey, you know, do you want to have sex right now? She asked me straight up. And I was like, no, I'm good. Like, and then all of a sudden my roommate comes in that was gone. He had gotten something. He comes back and she gets up and she storms out. And then he sees her leave and he's like, yo, what just happened? And I'm like, huh? And then as soon as I say, huh, she goes, what does it take to get some dick around here?
She yelled that?
She yelled that in the hallway. She yelled that.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was so hilarious. And I was like, oh, that's what she wanted.
Oh, she asked me to have sex. So
yeah, but like I said, it goes back to like, I didn't find her attractive. Like,
dang, bro.
And then I think at the time there was another girl that I was trying to talk to that nothing ever happened. But it was funny. I was like, oh, and then like, because at first I didn't hear what she said, but my roommate at the time, Ron, he was like, yo, did you hear what you just said? I was like, what'd she say? And then he told me, I was like, oh, that's hilarious. And then I just went back. I'm like, okay, let me go back to making music. And I just went to go back.
Dang, bro.
Yeah, man. It was so funny because, yeah, most of the time I don't ever, unless like a girl would purposely be like, hey, I think you're cute, or hey, I like this. Then I pick it up. But if they're doing slick shit, like I just don't see it because I'm just be like, nah, I'm just here.
I think I'm the same way. I'm not good at hints.
Yeah,
I've never had a moment like that though. That's funny.
That's so hilarious. It like I remember that as soon as you told your story, I was like, oh, that shit did happen, didn't it? It was so funny. And then from there on out, like I don't even think she talked to me anymore.
Dang, she never came back over to the room.
No, of course. I mean, she ain't gonna get none. I mean,
dang, bro.
I'm sorry. I have standards. No, but no, that's my not all here moment. So, well, we're about to be this is about an hour now. So we're gonna go ahead and close out the show, man. We appreciate every one of y'all listeners, man, because we're slowly growing the podcast. Real quick, if y'all can, wherever you listen to the podcast, whether that's Spotify, does Tidal have podcast?
I don't know.
I don't have Tidal, so I can't really answer that. Maybe somebody will tell me. Apple Music, man, if you listen to us on Spotify, follow us on Spotify. If you listen to Apple Podcasts, man, if you can, rate us and give us a review and subscribe to us, because it really helps the podcast to reach more people. This is episode 10 of Not Here Podcast. Check out our music that we just dropped, 3 new tracks for that's January 1st.
Yeah,
we got more music on the way. Jetty dropped Call on You featuring myself. I dropped Was Any of It Real? Cool Ass People dropped Building. A lot of more music to come on the way. Follow us on social media at Not All Here Podcast. Mine is It's Easy L. Jetty,
I am JRB, the producer, on all platforms.
Exactly, man. And I guess we'll go ahead and catch you on the next one.
Y'all have a great year. Let's make this a good year.
Yeah, let's make this a good one. And man, let's stay strong on those resolutions.
Stay strong.
Yo.